What's up, everybody? It's David. I'm your host, and appreciate you being here.
You are listening to the MDClone Talk Data Podcast, the show that uncovers healthcare insights, technology innovation, and discovers new ways to understand data possibilities. We bring together industry leaders, customers, and innovators to drive the future of care delivery. Let's talk data.
We're lucky. We've got MDClone here in the office today. I want to take this opportunity, tap into John Elliott. He's the VP of Sales and Growth at MDClone, and he's got his ear to the ground. He's hearing what the industry's saying, what his customers and prospects are saying, and that's important because it's Q3, it's Q4, it's end of year. This is the time when organizations are looking to make drastic improvement to end the year and then put a really good plan together for 2026. John, welcome to Highway L.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Thanks for being here. For those that don't know, MDClone in a nutshell. How would you describe MDClone in 3 words?
In 3 words, data insight to value.
You know, you're going to all these shows. You're talking to customers every day. Your whole team is. What are you hearing from the market right now?
Yeah, I think it's been a constrained market in healthcare technology and just healthcare in general for many decades. I think what we're hearing today is really around the reimbursement changes, whether that be with Medicaid or that be around for, NIH, pulling back on grant funding from NIH. We work a lot with academic medical centers, and that's pretty impactful. That's top of mind on how they're going to have to change and evolve their business, essentially.
I asked you to describe MDClone in 3 words. 3 words you probably hear a lot right now are big, beautiful bill.
Yep.
Is it throwing a wrench in the business in the industry more likely?
Well, I think in healthcare there's always policy impacts all of our businesses, but I think in healthcare this big beautiful bill and the policies that are in there are definitely creating a sense of urgency on what else can I do? What else can I do? Right? There's always been the low margins in healthcare. Some are better at managing that than others. Now it's okay. Not only do I have low margins, now if my patient payer mix is predominantly Medicaid, and I'm a big research organization, you have more sense of urgency or constraint than you've ever had before. And it's forcing creativity. It's forcing even more innovation. What else can I do? As a small business owner to a health system, there's a core competency of I'm constrained. What else can I do with what I have? And I think what's very relevant to MDClone is data, right? So what else can I do with my data? How can I improve efficiencies? How can I look at potentially additional revenue streams? And that's where we really help our customers.
It's kind of our busy season right now. We talked about it earlier, but what do you have planned? What shows are you going to be at?
Yeah, so this fall is going to be busy. It's always the spring season, the fall season when it comes to shows. We really try and focus on, because we're on such a broad spectrum within healthcare technology, healthcare data, we really try, and our strategy is to really focus on the different personas so we can have more of these intimate conversations. So for example, we're going to be going to the American College of Emergency Physicians called ACEP out in Salt Lake. The emergency medicine specialty really aligns with a lot of our use cases because so many of the insights they're looking at are time sensitive. Yeah. And we can look at that population and help them do more exploration with that population. And often a lot of those folks become administrators because you don't usually see the 10, 20, 30-year tenured emergency medicine doc, right? They go into administration. So there's kind of that's kind of a 2-pronged approach, and that's one of a long play and then solving an immediate need with these use cases we talk about. Then we go into a little later, we're doing an AI healthcare down at Rice University. Nice. We're going to have the Texas Medical Plaza there. So several different health systems really focused on AI. That's certainly a theme in the market. So we're talking all about how we align with AI, how is synthetic data specifically align, or how is it impactful, how is it more relevant with AI. So that'll be the focus there. Then we go a couple weeks out. We're going to be doing a few different PCORI. So PCORI's operates their research organization. We're going to meet with the Great Plains Collaborative in Kansas City and be able to speak and share some of the stories that some of the sites that are part of that network are utilizing us for, and being able to see if we can grow that collaboration. And that comes back to the synthetic data sharing, collaboration, research. And then we wrap up later in the fall and almost to Thanksgiving, we go to AMIA, which is medical informatics. You have those biomedical informaticists. It's very, very education focused, very science research focused. And we're fortunate to have several of our clients speaking there, having sessions, several sponsors. That's kind of our longstanding bread and butter. A lot of our end users are there.
Good.
So it's a great time to not only speak to the market, but to also partner with our, be able to spend time with our partners out in the industry.
So is it CMOs, chief medical officers, CFOs? It's probably the whole group now. Who's the key persona?
Yeah. I mean, chief medical, because we really, kind of on the front end of our solution is really empowering clinicians to be able to access data, right? Breaking down the silo, breaking on the bridge of maybe IT or analytics, having a controlled construct around self-service analytics for clinicians, right? That's really empowers them. A lot of times you never even get the questions. The ideas never even leave the clinicians who are most intimate with those populations, right. Never even come to fruition or never even submitted maybe for review. So that's CMOs love us for that reason because they were once a practicing physician and they become an administrator and they're bringing the physician voice. You also have chief quality because when you think of process and quality improvement,
sure.
Data's key. And we've talked about how you're going to use that data. How can you be more efficient? That's right up. That's spot on with the chief quality officer. CFOs are certainly emerging too because when we talk about these financial constraints, right? Coming in with a strong, hard ROI.
Right.
That's certainly the audience of a CFO. And there's plenty others, right? We go all the way down to speaking to, these service line, head of the service lines, whether it be women's health, cardiology, oncology, emergency medicine. It's important to hear and engage with them. But in that instance, it's more of a kind of corral your peers and the leaders within a service line and kind of a bottom-up approach.
Yeah.
But it's, all those conversations are fun because one's more of an end user, you're empowering. The other is more of a, okay, I see this is going to make us a data-driven organization. This is going to make us it's going to be more of a cultural shift. I'm going to have an objective framework to review what's going on in emergency medicine and women's
right.
health and accurately allocate funds that turn the best ROI and most have the biggest impact on our business. So
yeah,
kind of the full spectrum of everybody. Yeah.
Well, it's got to be, especially with the margins as tight as they are. Obviously, the experience for our caregivers, our physicians is important. Access to data is important, but it's got to make sense financially, probably more now than ever. You've got a great customer base, users that are on the platform doing good work, and I'm sure that helps when growing. For those that don't have access to MDClone right now, are not partnered with you, talk about because my favorite thing about healthcare is the resiliency in healthcare. No matter what's thrown at this industry, we find a way to make it work. Make lemonade out of lemons. And I have no doubt that this will be the same in this scenario. So a year from now, when we've overcome this challenge, we've solved some of these challenges and found success. What does success look like a year from now before we have to solve the next one?
Yeah, I think success looks like a data-driven culture. By doing that, you're solving for efficiencies. You're increasing efficiencies. You're looking at alternative revenue streams. That's where I think people's minds are being forced to be a little more, to be more diligent, to be more open to what's possible.
Yep.
Where traditionally in healthcare, there's a more of a conservative approach, and obviously for security and privacy and all the constraints that'll never go away in healthcare. But it's maybe a little more conservative. And we've always seen like in any market where you have the early adopters and the folks that are always adapting to emerging technologies and are leading the path. But I think that laggard will get shorter because of the constraint, right? Yep. So what does a year from now looks like? Maybe some of the smaller health systems are going to try and catch up quicker because they don't have an option, right? They're not going to just tread and stay afloat. I think they'll have to take some risks. So that also could lead, that could lead to more consolidation as well.
It's true.
So
necessity breeds invention or innovation, and healthcare needs this more than ever right now. And so that need, that pain that they're feeling, they're going to have to make a move. And we're actually seeing more and more broader adoption with cutting edge technology and innovation than we probably ever have. We're living in the golden age of technology and innovation right now in healthcare. But we're also seeing the gates open a little bit because of the necessity. They don't really have another choice. They can't go hire more people. They can't continue, this manual, repetitive nature of tasks. And so companies like you are helping meet that need. Appreciate you being here. Yeah. Good luck this fall and this winter. Man. You heard it from John Elliott. Necessity breeds innovation. You would do yourself a favor By listening, learning, being open to new ideas, your patients will benefit, your physicians will benefit, your population health will benefit. Thank you for being here. Go see John at some of these shows. Thanks.